If you happen to be staying at the Pershing State Park, you can make the couple-mile drive just up the highway to Laclede. This is John J. Pershing boyhood home. It's a state historic site. They have this really nice statue of him. Very, very lovely grounds. There's a couple of old buildings on this square, and we are not sure which one is supposed to be his home. So we're going to come up here and read a sign. I know, I'm going to read. It's terrible. Dr. Nathaniel Harris built the house now known as the Pershing Boyhood Home in 1858. It is approximately 3,800 square feet. It is of Royal Gothic gingerbread, Victorian era styling. Harris sold the home in 1865, moved his family south to Cooper County, Missouri. There he built a nearly identical house. In 1966, John Fletcher Pershing and Ann Thompson Pershing purchased the home. They moved in with their children, John Joseph, James Fletcher, and Mary Elizabeth. John J. Pershing, known as Jack, lived in the home from 6 to 21. So this is a lovely home.
Joseph John Pershing was nicknamed Black Jack. He was a senior American United States Army officer. He served most famously as the commander of the American Expeditionary Forces during World War I from 1917 to 1920. In addition to leading the AEF to victory in World War I, Pershing notably served as mentor to many of the generation of generals who led the United States Army during World War II, including George Marshall, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Omar Bradley, Leslie McNeil, George Patton, and Douglas MacArthur.
There's a nice wall of honor for World War I, Vietnam. Don't have a lot of Vietnam. World War I. There must be some on the opposite sides.
Yep, there is.
So World War II, I think I
Yes,
must have seen on the other side. That's pretty nice, though. Prairie Mound School was built in 1874. It's actually located 9 miles south of Laclede and served as a rural one-room schoolhouse. It's where young John Pershing moved out of his boyhood home and into the world. He taught there before and after receiving his teaching certificate from Kirksville Normal School, now what is now known as Truman State University. He was paid $30 a month. That's funny. We'll walk up a little closer, get a little bit of a close-up view. Do love the old schoolhouse. It is really cute. 1874. That is something. Now, I don't know. Well, I would imagine this probably is all part of, it's all the same historic site.
Yeah.
So you can get tickets and you can tour Pershing's home. I would imagine that would probably also include this. There is artifacts from the old school and everything in there. I would imagine it's probably all one ticket price. So there is a commemorative garden for First World War here on the grounds of, I guess, the state historic site, technically. Just so you know, that building over there, that's where you would go to get your tour tickets. Poppies bloom every spring, but only briefly. Poppies are used, so like if you donate to
Disabled veterans.
yeah, when they're like outside of Walmarts and stuff like that, they usually give you a little poppy flower. I had a couple hanging in on our mirror for a while. Yeah, see, there's even, that's like a poem. So there's even like poems about the poppy. Well, I mean, today the world recognizes the poppy as the symbol of remembrance for war veterans.
Thanks to. It's almost like they wrote that about the war, but used poppies in it. I don't know.
Maybe when that little poem was written.
Now the tortured poppy really were the honor of our dead.
Well, that's an interesting fact to know.
All World War I history.
Well, these are going to be those, stop and pause and read moments, and you possibly might have to zoom in.
Buffalo soldiers.
93rd Division, composed of 4 African American infantry regiments, wore a patch with a blue French helmet on their uniforms. That might be a tiny bit of a poppy that's left. Actually, looks like one over there might actually still be bloomed out. Those are poppies.
Yep.
Look at that. Frank Buckles, born in Bethany, Missouri, served as an ambulance driver during World War I. Buckles passed away in 2011 at the age of 110. He was the last surviving American World War I veteran.
He fought in one of the biggest in World War I. 1.2 million soldiers, with French and British.
1.2 million American soldiers fought alongside French and British soldiers for 47 days. The battle culminated in the world's armistice on November 11th, 1918. He was a second lieutenant. His name was Ernest McNish. He was the highest ranking soldier from Lynn County, which is the county we are currently in, killed in World War I. The American Legion named the Brookfield Post the Ernest A. McNish, Missouri, Post 182 in his honor.
The formative years of his life, living at home with mom and dad. Learned all the basics from mom and dad, don't touch it, it's hot. You're going to put your eye out, see, I told you, those kind of things. Now, the Prairie Mountain School is going to pick up from when he had to get out and get a JOB.
Yep.
So he initially thought he was going to be a lawyer, like every kid, they have a dream they're going to be a lawyer. Well, the family didn't have enough money to send him to MU. Gets their act together. This is going to be everything that a brand new second lieutenant would have been issued as he went out to his first assignment. Then we also acquired the Philippine Islands. Now initially the Filipinos were very happy the United States acquired them because they were a little tired of the Catholic missionaries who kept coming there trying to convert them. Trucks and cars, machine guns, and they were using a wire radio. And so a lot of movement and communications, and one of the other things they focused on was individual marksmanship. Instead of shooting volleys, where the two armies would get on line, face each other, shoot, they would shoot, and whoever had the most guys standing. The next major conflict is the punitive expedition into Mexico. What happens is President Wilson recognizes General Carranza as the legitimate government of Mexico, which really makes Pancho Villa very mad. He raids Columbus, New Mexico, and so Pershing is sent to either capture or kill him. From the west goes to the east. Well, when the railways were finished, some of the companies went up into Canada and some went into Mexico. When they were done in Mexico, they just abandoned those guys there. They couldn't get back into the United States. So Pershing hires them. They did the cooking, they built the barracks, 100, and check it out on the Google, you have a lot more information. But when they finish this, all out, it turns out there's 101. We're still calling it the Pershing 100. I mean, these guys were extremely brave. Done this, get shot in the face, and fight on to take out a third. The closest thing to that was the general of the colonial armies of the United States, which was held by George Washington. That his hero was General Grant Warfield Silvers. So he said, if I'm going to outline my hero, then I'll mess up here. We'll put the concertina wire up, and the only thing we're trying not to recreate is the smell.
Right,
In the trenches. But you can look through here, the trench periscope, look out over no man's land, and then they had trench foot, lice, mice, rats, just horrible conditions. So General Pershing retired from the Army in 1924. He was asked to head the American battle. This has absolutely nothing to do with General Pershing. This has everything to do with the Buffalo Soldier Bicycle Corps, the 25th Infantry. They rode from Fort Missoula, Montana, which is on the far side of Montana, all the way to St. Louis, came through Laclede. And they camped down in the town square, hats for the kids to buy eventually. But here was no gift shop. The good thing on this,
I hope you enjoyed that tour of the Pershing State Historic Site. We actually found the museum to be quite nice. It's not complete, as you could see. I think he said September was going to be their grand opening, September 24. We might have to go back sometime so that we can see the finished, museum. Right now, we are hoping to make it to the 4th covered bridge that is left in Missouri. This is the one that's been on my list for a while because we hadn't got to it. This is the Locust Creek covered bridge. The problem is we were told by a lady we met in the campground that it was closed because of flooding. Well, we're here, and I'm going to flip you around. And that was no joke. Holy moly. But the gate is open, it looks to me like. Is there supposed to be another gate on this? I don't know. It doesn't say it's closed. It's not posted closed. I gotta say, I'm a little nervous to go across this
I don't like the trees that are raised up
bridge. I don't want it to wash away while I'm on it. I'm probably going to walk a little quickly across this bridge and not look down at the water. Oh my gosh. Oh. Man, that is nuts.
It's been all the way up in here.
Yep.
Look how muddy.
Oh my gosh, that is muddy. Well, that was messy. But we made it across. So hopefully we can make it to the bridge. I really wanted to do this. This was like we must do this while we're staying at the Pershing State Park. So much mud and muck. All of this has probably been underwater for the last several days. That lady that we met, Debbie, I believe was her name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Debbie. She said that they had 5 inches of rain Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yep.
And it's just now Friday. So it's kind of surprising that this is even opened back up. You see where people have walked through here in this muddy mess of mess. I think we made it. Wonderful. That's exciting. I was so hoping we would get to see it. Check off that bucket list item. there it is. It's the Locust Creek Covered Bridge. Now, if you have not seen or are just now starting to follow us, you go back and you can see where we've done other covered bridges, the other 3. That's cute. That's a neat sign right there. Rates of toll. Every foot passenger, 3 cents. Every head of live sheep, hogs, or calves, 1.5 cents. That's funny. We have actually been asked that question by viewers before. Why are the bridges covered? And there is the answer. The bridge was built in 1868 and was part of Route 8, which was replaced by U.S. Highway 36. It is 151 feet and is the longest of Missouri's 4 remaining covered bridges. So we're not really sure why there's no creek running under the bridge. I would say that maybe they moved it, possibly to protect it.
Flooding out.
Yeah, since they know it's a flood-prone area. Maybe they were afraid that it would get damaged beyond repair or something. There's the back side of the bridge. We are going to walk back through. Didn't want a video as we were passing the people in there. They did mention, there's bats up there. I'm like, what? And then we stopped and we could hear them. There are bats in this covered bridge.
And you can see the guano on the floor.
Ew. It's probably stuck to the mud that's stuck to the bottom of my shoes. Gross.
Just don't walk in the middle because that's where the guano's at.
Gross. I don't want to walk in the middle because there's no support beam in the middle. Where are they? Oh! Oh, no, that's not. I thought I saw one. Where is it? I can hear it. Are they up in the rafters? Oh. Oh, my goodness.
I have a flashlight. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's clumps of them.
Ooh, what?
See?
Oh, no. Wait a minute. Oh, my goodness, it is.
Look at them, they're moving.
Oh, my gosh. No. Oh, that's disgusting. We gotta get out of here. Oh gosh, that's starting to creep me out now. I didn't know I was kind of freaked out of bats, but that one, I stopped and took a picture of him. I'll try to remember to put it up here on the screen so you can see it if the picture turned out okay. But he was like looking down at me, like screaming at me. I think he was telling me to get out. I don't think he likes me being in his space. Ooh, that was creepy. It was hard for me to even take the picture. That was so gross and creepy. Last look at the covered bridge with the creepy, scary bats. Ick, that was gross. Now we gotta traverse back through the mud. That big log is right there.
Against everything.
Yeah. Well, we made it back through the muck and the mud from the covered bridge, just kind of stopping and taking some pictures and marveling at how large this creek is. You can kind of see over there where the water has been, so it's actually come down quite a bit. Power of water. It's amazing. This is another section of the park. There's actually a pond right down there. We'll probably be back to that later. Jesse wants to do some fishing. And then I wanted to see what this is. This is Motherhood. Missouri State Chapter, American War Mothers, September 29, 1940, September 1st, 1954. American War Mothers of Missouri held their 1940 convention in Brookfield. After their morning business meeting, 125 delegates traveled to Pershing State Park, where CCC Company 1713 hosted the ladies to lunch in the camp mess hall before they dedicated the statue War Angels. The War Mothers dedicated the statue War Angel to honor the general who guided and guarded their sons through World War I. Aw, so this is for Pershing. That's nice. It's already getting warm.